Llambro from the Fortnite Victory Royale series is a pretty aesthetically pleasing figure to the eye. Now it does have some flaws, which I want you guys to stay tuned for so you can decide whether or not you want to pick up this figure. But overall, it's a very nice looking figure. If you want this guy just to pose on your shelf in a vanilla pose like this, super dope. Definitely pick him up, and he's not that expensive relative to the other figures I've reviewed on this channel. This will run you about, give or take, $23, $24, $25 max, because it didn't come out. How long ago did this come out? I'm not too sure. Maybe it came out a year ago. So it's been out for a decent amount of time. But stay tuned for Articulation. Articulation. Double joint at elbow. Cut at the top of the bicep. Arm rotates all the way around. Oh yeah, I forgot the head. The head has a lot of movement. It's on some type of ball joint. But you're not going to get a lot of up and down movement. See, up about that far, down about that far. So be mindful of that. At the torso, you get a turn. You don't get a whole lot of back and forward movement, and it's not much they could have really done about that. He got on a bubble jacket, so without completely ruining the sculpt of the bubble jacket, there's only so much they could do. So this, I guess, would have to do, even though it's unfortunate. Hips don't go out super far, but I suppose it's good enough for him. When I said the articulation could use some work, I guess this was what I was referring to, because they could have cut away more of this plastic right here to have his hips go out further, but I guess this is the decision they wanted to make for the aesthetic sake. Leg going forward about that much. If I force it a little bit more, yeah, that's about as far as it's gonna go. Double joint at the knee works fine. Ankle goes up about that far, goes down about that far. This feels a little gummy right here, the ankle, so be wary of that. Don't damage your figure. Ankle rocker. Wait, hold on. Let me straighten this leg out. Like I said, kind of gummy right here, so be careful. Ankle rocker works fine. Hasbro is always pretty good with the ankle rocker. Cut at the top of the thigh. Waist twist. So overall, articulation is okay. It's definitely not horrible, but something that can definitely be improved upon. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, somewhere in that ballpark. Now I want you guys to stay tuned for the accessories, because it doesn't come with a lot, but from what I can tell, what he comes with is useful enough for the character. Also, the fanny pack is a floating piece, so you can move that out of the way if you need to pose it a certain way. But either way, stay tuned for the accessory. For Llambro's accessories, you get a backpack that pegs right into his back, a grenade launcher, which looks pretty nice but could use some paint work, and a llama stick, which looks pretty nice. I guess you use it I don't play Fortnite, so I guess you use it in a game to hit people with. But either way, looks pretty good. Overall, this is a very nice looking figure. Very, like I said in the beginning of the video, very aesthetically pleasing to look at. If I could change a couple things, I would fix that hip articulation so his legs could spread out further. I would give him more accessories. Maybe an interchangeable head and another gun, but I'm content with what we got. I don't know a lot about Fortnite, so I'm not sure. Besides like different guns and maybe a different skin, but a different skin would mean basically a whole nother figure. But a gun and another head, I think, could be added to this, but that'll probably cost them more as well. Other than that, this figure, I think you should pick it up. If you're a Fortnite fan and you happen to collect action figures, pick them up. If you want just a collectible from Fortnite, it's a very aesthetically pleasing figure to look at. He'll look nice on your shelf or wherever you decide to pose him. Pick him up. And he's not that expensive relative to a lot of figures on the market nowadays. He's in the $20 range. And even some figures in the $20 range are going up to $30. And, you know, it just goes up from there. So overall, I would suggest you pick him up. He's like a 7.5 out of 10. The articulation, I think, brings him down a lot for me personally. But aesthetically, he just looks so cool. Maybe I bump it up to 8, just because of the aesthetic is so cool. Now, one last thing about the aesthetic I would say is that compared to the box right here, you see, I feel like that pink to purple is more of a gradient. It's like more of a blend. Here is less of a blend. So if they could have fixed that, that would have been dope. Now, also the teeth on the box are silver. Teeth on the figure is like clear or something, so that could definitely use some work. But overall, nice figure. Pick them up if you want to. There's a very strange, like, unless you would be picking them up purely for the character design, because from what I can tell, there's no storyline behind these characters in Fortnite, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but from a purely aesthetic point of view, awesome figure. Pick them up if you want. Until next time, before I go, stay tuned for pictures at the end. And until next time, the Reverse Flow out.